Another thing I think, being a victim of an intelligence plot that was really about something else, using my suffering as collateral damage, which is basically happened to the girls in Epstein too, is how amazing it is that people believe the most absurd pretenses, right? Right now, the number one strategy intelligence services use, CIA, Mossad, is using a private billionaire as a front to funnel huge sums of money under the pretense it's something the private billionaire desires, right? So we all know the Epstein plot, Wexner, the Kabbalah demon, who was in a private Jewish Zionist billionaires club, political action community, literally about how to control America for Israel. Um, Marcus Robert Fortinelli, otherwise known as Jeffrey Epstein, the Mossad spy, suddenly comes out of nowhere in the 90s after working for Mossad since the 80s. And first, they install him as like a math teacher somewhere, even though he has no degree. And then, when that was just a fraud, and he's obviously really bad at math, they installed him at Bear Stearns, right, to give him like some kind of backstory. In reality, he was very evidently a Mossad spy since the 80s, based on his own personal possessions. And after Bear Stearns, he starts taking private clients for tax help. And this is where Jeffrey Epstein is born. Jeffrey Epstein, the notorious child abuser and compromise generator. And all of a sudden, Lex, the Kabbalah demon Wexner, he literally thinks he's a Kabbalah demon, gives him $200 million on the pretense of tax help. And this sets the stage. I worked at Bear Stearns. I'm a math teacher, even though he really didn't do these things, right? This is all intelligence. They made a credible backstory. I'm a math genius and I worked at Bear Stearns. So those two things combined make me a tax wizard. Now, anyone could be a tax wizard when you control the government, right? So, yeah, he works for the Rothschilds by his own admission, and they have inordinate control over literally every government. So, it's probably not too hard to get Jeffrey Epstein's tax clients good deals. But yeah, like it's just amazing the number of people believe that. Like I see, like it's almost like for a while now, it's like, how could you believe this is a revenge plot? How do you think a private billionaire wants to funnel $150 million to get revenge on a teenage girl? But they do. They literally do. Everyone believed Epstein's story. Nobody thought it was weird that all of a sudden this guy's a multimillionaire after having like the most spotty history. They were just like, oh, I guess he's really good at taxes. I mean, all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, working briefly as a math teacher and then working briefly at a finance company. And I guess those two little brief experience stints made him a tax genius to the point this ultra Mossad billionaire is giving him $200 million. That's where all his money came from. Wexner, who is Mossad, and Black, who is also Mossad. They were the number one people who gave us money. And it was all funneling it from the Israeli government. But yeah, I look at my plot and I think about the number of dopes who believed it. They believed a billionaire cared about revenge on a teenage girl. It's even my plot's even stupider. And they didn't see all the other things it was clearly about. Fucked company was a front. You know that, right? Are you getting it yet? That was a CIA front. Do you know what fuck company was? It was this obvious honeypot. Well, I don't want to say honeypot. It was obvious trap website. When the government was building their tech companies like Google, Google had just signed a contract with the CIA. Google and Microsoft and all these things that are clearly government, right? Facebook. They wanted to make sure the kind of people working for them they could trust, they could be expected to do certain things. And they made fuck company literally to encourage these people to talk shit about companies, right? And I think they were always going to target someone And in a way, I think it was a test of loyalty in a lot of ways, like, or what you will do. So I think that was one utility of it. It was kind of like reverse compromise in the sense amongst elites, like they know they can expect much more psychopathic behavior from very rich people, but amongst regular tech workers, you probably have to feel out personalities. Like, do you have what it takes to like do evil shit? I think that's one reason this plot was set up by the CIA as well as Fuck Company. It was to feel out who's going to be working in these corporations when they turn evil. Now we're saying do no evil. Now we're pretending to be progressive. And so we know we're attracting people with that veneer, but they wanted to make sure you had the personality to be a psychopathic monster. And I think that's one reason they did this and planned that, not revenge. And I also think it was, as ever, progressive busting, obviously. Like, how useful was it for these people to go around saying you want to rape screaming white women in the name of progressive vengeance? You know, usual CIA shit, making frogs look like crazy motherfuckers. That was a whole ass reason. But yeah, it's just amazing number of people who believed that and they didn't think it was anything higher of intelligence. And they believe shit like Elon Musk went crazy. I'm telling you, these people really believe this. Number like early on, the people who were like fucking with me, absolute morons. And I guess the answer is people are just really stupid and an obvious intelligence plot. They can't see it. They'll believe the dumbest shit.